And we're back.
We're back. Back.
Steven? Second to
Season
Deutsch.
3.
SASLtv Seagal 3.
So, we have playing tbhVisions, this Maynarde.
No, or if you're Baldy.
Marinade.
Hey, Baldy.
Everyone loves marinade. Anyway, we are back.
Alright,
we will be
let's get
having
this going.
TBH. Does that stand for to be honest? Because that's what I
have no
always read
idea.
it as. We have tbhVisions versus Maynarde. Keening up. We're just waiting for Visions. He wanted a little break or something. I don't know.
Oh, gosh. Huge ant. God.
Huge Ant wanting an invite
Telling
like
ya.
a total go-to.
Sorry,
If there's
I just-
anyone that's pending, it should be me, because I'm the Mexican having a siesta.
Are you in? I haven't checked.
I'm
Yeah, you
here, all is well.
Alright.
We may start.
Let's do this.
Well, when I say we may start, I mean we can start. That's proper grammar, but you know, no one cares about that.
Baldia. Baldia? Is that some new country? What's with all the speckies? Get them to go on the stream.
There are heaps. You know, I might just have a quick little browse on the Channel 4 news team site, see what's going on in the world of Channel 4. www.c4.
And we got Spook as well. What's going on here?
C4NT.net.
Okay, and the countdown has started. Marinade versus, to be honest, Visions.
To be honest. Is that what it actually stands for? I honestly don't know.
No, I just made that up.
Hey, I made it up, man. Don't steal my cred.
Sorry.
Oh,
yes, you
oh.
did make it up. Copyright, I tell ya.
Alright, Carlo, you are doing Korean openings. I'll do ops, and you are doing them like a Korean.
No,
Okay.
no.
Denying it.
God. Alright,
That is
alright.
not on.
So
You
you
can either
following
do
me?
it as
You're
Korean
Aussiing,
or you
aren't ya?
can do it as Mexican. It's your choice.
Alright, I'll
Alright.
do it. I'll
Or the
do
other.
it.
You can intro.
Okay, no worries, buddy.
Alright then.
So we do have game one about to start. Maynarde. I will say Maynarde. I should check if he wants to be called Marinade or not. I feel like he probably wouldn't.
I don't think he'll appreciate being
Yeah.
called a Marinade.
The manly Maynarde probably doesn't want to be
Alright.
changed. Anyway, let's get straight into it. We do have GSL Daybreak as our first map. Spawning in our top right-hand position, the gentleman we were just speaking about, the ever manly yellow Zerg. We do have Maynarde, and spawning across. I'm not going to do Korean opening. Spawning
Come on.
across positions, obviously a 1v1 map guaranteed. Nonetheless, spawning in our bottom left-hand position, our purple Protoss, we have tbhVisions.
And
Or
Thundersticks.
as it would be called in Korean, tbhVisions.
Oh, see, now you say it's too late now. I will give special shout-outs again to our sponsors. We do appreciate them. Juice Studios, our major sponsor for cheap and reliable Australian-based web hosting and VPS. Go no further than juicestudios.com.au. And again to Terra Australis, one of Southeast Asia's most established StarCraft 2 clans. Terra Australis is perfect clan for any StarCraft 2 enthusiast. Be sure to check them out at www.clan-ta.com.
Let's also not forget our other sponsor as well. We have C4NT,
Yes. And
Channel 4 News Team.
so Channel 4 is a group of gaming enthusiasts delivering high quality reviews and previews of games on the horizon. So if that's something that interests you, be sure to check them out on www.c4nt.net. And thank you again for
Indeed.
all of our sponsors. We couldn't do it without them, and we love you all greatly.
It's
You know
what
what was
makes
interesting?
Sassel great.
I was actually just on the Channel 4's news team website, and there is actually quite a funny, should I say, story from one of the SASL members, Seaton, about his Silver League adventures. So if you're after an interesting, funny read, then do definitely head on over there and have a look at it, because there's quite a lot of fun and interesting and hey, there's learning points, such as try and keep something outside a Terran base so I can know what's going on. So for
That
all
is
you
an
kids
awesome
out
rating.
there wanting to get into StarCraft, make sure you check this out.
Uh, that was posted in SC2C. But just on that, we have 6 Zerglings underway. Oh, no, 4, 4. 4 Zerglings. Just to prevent that block. Oh, well executed. Anyway, here comes the expansion. Pretty standard play there, really.
Oop.
Right, I'm just gonna drag Baldy out of the depths of the lurker again. Baldy, come on, man.
You want me to jump in? I don't know, Anthony. Well, I don't think we've ever had a triple cast. That's pretty crazy.
We
It's
have
all
actually. It
community,
was
man.
once myself, Blurgy, and you, I believe, Baldy.
Did
There you
I?
Um,
go.
There you go.
that was a fun, interesting talk
Oh,
about not a lot of StarCraft actually. It was more about other things.
Sounds
So
kinky. Sounds
I don't know if
kinky.
we really want a repeat of that. Oh, it was so kinky. There was a lot of talk about socks, shall we say.
What?
where was my invite to this amazing
Oh.
casting? That's wow. I feel like I missed out heaps on that. Gosh,
It's alright,
Yeah,
man.
I'm sure there's a VOD of it somewhere through here if you feel like checking it out.
think I'm gonna
Um,
have to.
So I guess we probably should get back to the game a little bit. I mean, we can talk about our fantasies shortly, but I guess to update everyone, I think a notable thing is we do have double gas from Visions, obviously denoting some sort of tech expansion, or not necessarily an expansion, but a tech-heavy play. We still are on only one gas for Maynard. Still on hatchery tech. We may be seeing Lair shortly, but he is getting a drone, defensive drone, as opposed to a defensive spine crawler.
there is it's interesting how Visions didn't forge fast expanders. That is, particularly in Korea, quite the common PvZ strategy.
Yeah,
So
I
Yes.
have seen Forge expands being played on this map. It is a slightly larger map in the sense of the choke, if you will. You would need a lot more buildings to finish it off. But equally, I mean, Sentry expands are just as common. Maybe not just as, but still pretty common. And I personally feel, I guess on a map with this big of a choke, it's a little risk you take if you kind of go for that Forge expand and you don't get it out in time. But yeah, at least he's expanding. That's the main thing.
definitely.
Nah, it's pretty good. Maynard's doing pretty standard stuff here. We got a fast expand, staying in hatchery tech for a little bit longer. He's got the Evo chamber there, ready to drop a spore crawler should he suspect any sort of DT or air unit harass there or anything such as that. So this is pretty standard from
Yeah,
Maynard's.
and I guess I mean he did get as this Stalker somehow survived for a little more than it should have, but he did get a roach warren up. So I guess when if he decides to use it, which you'd suspect given he builds it, he probably will hit lair tech sometime soon, so he can start that roach speed upgrade. Obviously, it's an important upgrade to have,
The uh,
and there we go. He's starting now with his lair upgrade.
the interesting thing is that although he has got a Roach Warren up, he is upgrading melee attacks at his Evo chamber and not missile attacks.
Yeah, that is
So
interesting.
he might
I
just
think
possibly try to metagame a little bit there.
um I I'm not even sure if Visions actually sees that. No, he doesn't know. Visions doesn't know that he's got a Roach Warren. So I think he's just mainly built that for just like a just-in-case thing. The thing with Zerg is like, technically it's so cheap to build that building. Why not, Then you have the option just in case you do need it. It's there,
Definitely.
I
Yeah,
believe.
and I guess yeah, given that he has got that melee upgrade, as Rathan very correctly pointed out, he's saying the melee usually means you're going for ultras. So I guess I mean the melee upgrade is probably more fitting for tier 3, as you know, like obviously ultras scale with it, and also the broodlings scale with it. So as opposed to the range upgrades, very specific to roaches, hydras, obviously the queens get it, but again, melee upgrades are obviously something that are used throughout the entire game. So that's obviously a bonus as well. And it looks like we are going for
Yes.
almost like a delayed forge. If expand, if you will. But it is double forge, so we'll be going double upgrade. So I have a feeling, given, I mean, he is going Colossi, but we will be seeing double upgrades, and obviously Colossi scale exceptionally well with upgrades. It's almost crazy.
They
Oh,
do.
Colossi does insane damage. Insane damage.
And we do have a third going down for Maynarde as well. And obviously just scouting down at the potential third location, obviously wanting to deny any kind of expansions. Because especially once Protoss get on a fourth base, and with that gas, it's almost impossible to kind of hold them off. But you want to deny that third for as long as possible. You want to deny that gas from them for as long as possible. Obviously, Colossi and upgrades cost a bit of moolah.
He got a warp prism here.
Yeah, we might be seeing some harass at the third. Maybe a
Indeed.
zealot drop.
But I think Maynard knows all about it. He's
It is
following
Maynard.
it with the...
May have map hacks. Undisclosed.
He does definitely know everything about it.
Oh,
And Double Evo upgrading roaches. Considering there's almost already a Colossus up. Not sure if Roach Tech is exactly the best option here.
I believe it's better than pure links though.
Definitely, but you might want to throw up a Spire at some point.
Yeah, definitely.
And he
Does
has...
he know?
does he know? He doesn't.
Don't think he does.
He doesn't at all.
It's all
We'll
good.
see
He's
what
just
just
droning up
happens.
as much as he can there.
He is pulling a lot of resources. Can we see 900 gas?
And there's a... There you go. Should be dropping that Spire pretty soon though. Again, like what I said in the beginning, just drop the tech, you know? Just have the tech there. Whether you use it or not, doesn't matter. Just have it there.
And we do have 4 zealots in, well, 4 zealots dropping it. Interesting to see if he warps in more. It looks like he won't. The drones were quickly taken out, and now he does reveal that he has roaches. I think it might have been revealed earlier, but definitely guaranteed now that Visions does know that roaches are on the field. And interesting to see if we are continuing with Colossi. Obviously, Immortals are a good option versus roaches, but if you have Colossi tech, you might as well use them because they're beastly.
Indeed, you get a little bit of critical mass with them, like 3, 4. It does insane damage to pretty much all your ground units. Just insane.
Trying to find where this
Just insane.
Spire is located. Is it located at his third? It is located. So he's locating a Spire at his third. Obviously a bit more vulnerable, but also less likely to be not scanned, but like observed in that sense. But it looks like we do have a warp prison coming over here, which will actually see the Spire tech, which is an important get.
Should be an interesting engagement here. The way Maynard deals with this could be quite... Here we go. Just to pull that back.
Didn't quite engage all of his
Be
units straight
interesting.
up.
Be very dangerous here. That army is very
Going
dangerous.
for a pincer movement here.
Oh, got him! Wow, what a catch!
Catches Visions completely
What a
unprepared for that.
catch.
And he doesn't turn around and engage. Manya's just like, you know what, I've done some damage here, I'm just going to pull back a little bit.
That he could push with this, and wow, that was an excellent catch.
Yeah, definitely, and as you can see, he's building 3 mutas. He's got 2 upgrades on the way. So he did actually get that level 1 melee, but then did obviously switch over to range. Let me just check it. Yes, it is 1-1. So more than likely we'll see a timing attack, or at least he'll more than likely attack when he hits that 2-2. If we look at Visions, he is 1-1-1, interestingly enough, not opting for the second weapon upgrade, which obviously would make quite a big difference to his Colossi. And obviously, I mean, most Protoss units, in all honesty, scale exceptionally well with upgrades, I feel. So interesting to see he hasn't started 2-2 yet with that double forge. But yeah, obviously Maynard is in quite a good state at the moment. If he has a good engagement, he could take it out. 14 mutas on the way. Wow, maxing out with 14 mutas is definitely going to have a huge engagement. Yeah,
Maynard's wanting to finish this pretty quickly, I believe.
you feel like Vision's in a bit of trouble here. So he's got half the army value. If you look at
But it
worker
should be
count.
noted that 3 Colossus up.
Yeah, those mutas should deal with it pretty effectively. Note that there is no blink either, so the mutas will be able to scoot out of there if they need to. More than likely, we'll see them attempting to harass this third. Does he know it exists? I don't think he knows it exists yet. Oh no, he does know the third exists. So he might be actually going for some probe harass
Wow,
here.
that's a lot of muta.
But
Yes,
it's
indeed.
see,
18.
and his army is out the front of his base, so they should be able to do quite a bit of damage. There's no cannons here, and he actually will lose quite a few probes here. A lot of damage being done for free. He might actually snipe the Robo, but if he gets that, there will be no more Thermal Lance, which will be a huge get. It is going down to half health, and it's down, and he could snipe these Colossi as well. That'd be huge. That'd actually be game-breaking, and he doesn't, but he does get it a lot. I mean, that...
I think he
that was
accidentally
excellent.
misclicked the assimilator instead of a Colossus.
Oh, well, denying them gas is obviously important, but again, getting that Robo Bay was exceptionally important because it delayed, obviously, the Thermal Lance. It won't have 9 range for quite some time. He won't be able to build any more Colossi for quite some time. Great
I
get
believe there would be a GG very soon.
And 21 workers have been killed. And the third will go
while
down.
the army comes over here to deal with this, Maynarde gets the Mutalisks in, which he doesn't.
They're just sitting there chilling. And we do have Blink being researched. 2-2 is almost complete, but again, I feel like it should have been done a bit earlier, but nonetheless. We do have Hive Tech as well, and Pathogen Glands and Infestors coming, so we may be seeing Tier 3 Brood Lords coming soon. If you look there, like 4.5k pull and 2k gas, you know, he's in no bad shape. Even if he loses this, he does have 3 mining bases, and interesting, is there an... There is no... Yeah, there is an Overseer, Observer, so even if he did run over that, you would have seen them.
Oh, he's on the move,
Colossus.
And Visions, I don't know what he's doing. He's not actually responding at all.
Oh,
he does lose 2 Colossi for free.
Huge damage.
And Anu mannering with the slowdowning of the game.
Now combining these forces.
And here we go.
Yep.
Maynard just taking it easy.
Yeah, exactly.
Very wise to pull out there, as he had an absolutely terrible concave against that Protoss army at that point.
And Maynard doesn't need to attack at all. I mean, he has the exceptionally pull. He is max, so he will just be continuing to pull up. I'd like him to see him take a 4th. Obviously, he lost his initial 4th, but maybe a bottom right-hand 4th. I mean, he has the minerals. He might as well. But he's in a very strong stage at the moment. We do have
a few macro hatches wouldn't go astray as well.
Yeah,
just
looks
helps
like we're
with
about
that
to have an engagement.
Remax. He's at the point here now where he can just keep throwing units at him.
Yeah, easily he could. He probably in fact wants to not like throw the roaches, but you know he's happy to. He's kind of gearing up for tier 3. Yeah, he quite easily can just throw these away as 9 more roaches are in production, and yeah, it's looking dire for Visions.
Deal with the Colossus.
There we go.
37 roaches in production, just throwing it out there. That is a significant amount. He just instantly remaxes on roaches. I guess he knows he's in such a good stage that he doesn't even need to look at, you know, switching up to tier 3 or anything. He does have 2-2, 3-3 on the way, and just continuing to pump out roaches as you see them streamline through his base. And yeah, only 24 army supply for Vision, so I don't know how. Maybe there's a miracle to be had, but you'd feel like unless Maynard left the game, you can't lose.
Visions has got his 3rd back up and running, although he has almost no minerals, no gas. All that army he has there is basically all he can throw at Maynard at the moment. So if Maynard goes for an engage here, I can't see how Visions would be able to win that.
Like a Wraith in chat saying Maynard needs to start smashing out spine crawlers, obviously so you can cancel them and get an overmaxed army.
definitely.
Yeah.
Well, he does. He has 6,500 minerals and 2,500 gas. He could pretty much make 8 broodlords, I think, off of that.
And yeah, I don't even think I need to be excited about this engagement. There is no challenge whatsoever in this. It's just going to smash through, and
There
there's
we
the
go.
GG.
There we have a GG up.
And so, what are you guys' thoughts on that game?
Well, I believe Maynarde, basically the Munalisks did a lot of damage. It was very, very well timed, and then those Munalisks enabled him to come in and wipe out the third and get out reasonably unscathed, should I say. And that's pretty much what won him the game, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I guess Visions really wasn't able to put any pressure on Zerg. I mean, obviously, coming from a Terran perspective, you need to make sure you put pressure on Zerg. But, I mean, he did deny a fourth, but the third was up pretty early, and Maynard had a pretty streamlined process where he didn't have to do that much, really, just droned up, macroed up, and had, I must admit, I mean, some good engagements. It does definitely come down to engagements. Yeah, I mean, either of them definitely could have taken it out. They're both very skilled players, but definitely Maynard looked in control in that one.
He was all over Visions in every way, shape, and form.
Keep it PG.
And
I think I'm going to have to sign out from this casting session, guys, as I have an early work tomorrow, so...
I'm
Early
color, wow.
Yes, wow, indeed.
Oh my god, it's midnight. Watch
Plus,
out.
I need my siesta, man.
You already had yours, man. What are you talking
No,
about?
dude, I only had like 3 siestas today.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Come on.
I'm mistaken.
Yes, so yeah. Well, thank you, guys.
Thanks for coming in, buddy.
me
It was a
again.
pleasure.
That's all right, man.
yeah, cheers, dude.
Till the next time, have a
Have
good
a
one.
great
All right,
siesta, buddy.
see you later, Carly.
Andale.
Oh.
So just waiting on, obviously, Visions. Oh, so we've got an invite now. I was just about to say, waiting on Visions to pick game number 2. Obviously, loser picks. He has chosen GSL Tal'Darim Altar. He has to go there. Yeah, so we're just waiting, obviously, on the readies. Maynard saying 1 sec. So, obviously a good map choice here, Anthony. Visions Protoss, they love the Tal'Darim Ultra. Obviously, it's a
They
big
do.
map.
I do not like playing Protoss on that map, as they pretty much ruffle stomp me no matter what I do. But it'll be interesting to see how Visions deals with the big threat that is Maynarde.
Yeah, Maynard. I mean, I think a big thing, obviously, about Tal'Darim Ultra is the fact that, especially now that Protoss are using Warp Prism a lot more, I mean, you can have your pylons all over the map, you can keep harassing with war pins, and just, I guess it really comes down to how well the Zerg creep spreads and how well the Protoss keeps the creep spread down, because, as you would appreciate, when you don't have creep spread, if you're attacking at multiple locations, it's probably not going to go in your favor.
Yes, you can't see a thing that's coming your way. And it's just like, oh, there's a Protoss on my doorstep and I have no army whatsoever to deal with it. That's the worst possible thing that could happen due to no creep spreading. Which is something else for any of the kids watching out there today. If you play Zerg, make sure you spread your creep.
Spread that shit.
Yeah.
That's the motto of Zerg, I hear. So looks like we are just getting a few more specs in. Some people CBF with the stream, whatever. I'm cool with that.
Speaking of more specs that need to get in, I do. As I am not even in the game yet. It's a little bit sad.
Let me get you in. Thank you for letting me know, because that would have been devastating.
It would have. I would have had to go and watch it, and then I would have been behind, and then the world would have ended.
It has happened before when Flamger and I were casting a clan war, I missed out on an invite, and so we just had to chat for 20 minutes. Pretty sick.
That would have been fun.
Yeah, man. Well, it's good. He's over in another country, so he had some good stories to tell. But it looks like we're about to start very shortly.
Yes, indeed. Although, maybe not, as we're asking someone else if they want to be in. And Forby's asking who I am. Hey, Forby. What was my name before my name change? What was it? I don't think it was Huge Anthony on here, because I just had to change it due to the new clan that I've been accepted into. But I believe I'll talk about that in a minute as the game has started and we have some introductions to do.
Okay, my pleasure. So obviously we have spawning in our top right hand position. This is Tal'Darim Altar, one of the larger maps going around. Spawning in our top right hand corner we have the purple Protoss. Down a game after losing to the Zerg, we have tbhVisions. And spawning in the bottom right hand position, I guess, would you say, I don't know, are they the same distance between top left, top right and bottom? They'd be pretty close, I feel.
It'd be close.
Nonetheless, spawning in our bottom bottom right hand corner, we have our yellow Zerg taking game number 1 quite convincingly, I thought. We had a forever manly Maynarde.
Yes, indeed.
And thank you again, special shout out to Juice Studios, Terra Stratus, and C4 Net, or C4 News Team, I should say, for their generous donations to this SASL Season 3, as I update our scoreboard. So take it from here while I do it. Thanks, buddy.
Alright. Well, I actually can't remember what I was saying beforehand, but it'll be... I'm curious to see how Visions is going to react to the loss. Like, when you lose a game, you can sometimes think, hey, this guy, he's good. Like, you can either think, oh, I can do this, and I can beat him, or you can just start thinking, oh man, what am I going to do? What's he going to throw at me? I don't know what's going on. And that doesn't end well for the player. So if Visions can start getting into the mindset, hey, this guy, he put out some early harassment, he built a very strong army, he came into the back of my base with mutas, you know, I need to be prepared for these sort of things, then Visions might be able to just claw his way back here into this game.
Yeah, definitely. And that, yeah, it's a good point. It's interesting to see how players react when they're under the pump, if you will. And I mean, I guess we'll have to wait and see, but I guess the first notable thing is we obviously do have a Forge fast expand. Pretty safe on this map. It is an exceptionally big map, so even if there was some early pressure from the Zerg, you definitely should have a wall up in time. And even if they did do a 6 pull and managed to guess you straight away, like we found out earlier in some casts, obviously with a Forge expand, you do have more probes in production, so you'd be able to manage it quite comfortably. And yeah, I guess obviously Maynard incorrectly guessing twice, and will finally make it up into the base of Visions, and we'll see that Forge fast expand.
And he will lose a probe, which doesn't really matter that much, particularly as a Zerg. I called it a probe, I meant a drone, my apologies. As a drone, as a Zerg, you know, they used to make units, sure they farm minerals, but one drone, yeah, it's worth knowing where he is and knowing what he's doing for that boss.
Yeah, and I mean, we look at the vision, he did see the expansion. Even if he didn't, he would have known it was coming, obviously seeing that Forge. So he knows he is safe from any kind of early pressure, and that's probably why he was more than happy to chuck down an expansion of himself without any kind of concern.
Definitely.
Speed just finishing, good note to that. And more than likely these Lings will just chill out the front, make sure, see if they can sneak in. They won't be able to, but just to make sure the Protoss doesn't try any sneaky business.
Yeah, just have a little look, see, like, what's going on here? Oh, okay, he's got 2 cannons up, so I can't get in there, but I'm just gonna keep an eye on him, make sure he doesn't run away on me and try and take any quick expos or anything like that.
Yeah, and I guess what's notable is he is pulling a little bit of money at the moment. Interesting to see if he goes for an early third. Again, like I said, it's obviously a large map. He may do that. And oh, I just saw Rathan did say the same thing as well in chat. So interesting to see what goes on. He did build a Roach Warren though. So again, interesting choice there. Obviously, once the Roach speed kicks in, he will be able to break through potentially these expo, or the wall, but that will be some time away.
It will.
And let me see how many gases. We do have 3 gases in total for Visions. So again, obviously opting for quite heavy on the gas early. He does only have 1 gate, so we may be seeing a Robo put down soon, or equally, I guess we'll see either a Robo or a Twilight Cancel. That'll obviously tell us what's going to happen. And like I suggested, we do have a third going down for Maynard.
Yes, we do. It is the build that was, as Rathan said in the stream chat, made reasonably popular by the player Stefano. But
I just realised, when creep goes over trees, it kills them. That's pretty sick. Or corrupts them.
oh, the poor trees.
I know. How ball is
I
that?
guess there's not going to be any more oxygen for the Protoss to live on this planet anymore. So that's one way the Zerg can overrun everything. It's like, no oxygen for you.
Yeah, I'll see when this one pops. There's no trees nearby. Maybe it'll pop this one. That is interesting. But we do have, back to the game, do we have 3 more gates going down. So I actually was incorrect. I thought he would go for some tech path. He is going for 4 gates in total. Obviously gateway, good unit. And will Maynard be able to eat? Oh, that is clutch. That is, I think he got it. He just with the last millisecond saw the 3 extra gates. That's huge knowledge to know. He does know that obviously 4 gates in total are out. He knows that there's no kind of Robo early or Twilight, like 2 base Blink Stalkers. Yeah, it's pretty big to know.
Definitely.
And we do have a third going up as well for Visions. Did take down his rocks. But yeah, it looks like we're not going to have any kind of major engagements for some time, as both parties opt to macro up. We do have a Twilight Council coming down, so maybe we'll see Blink Stalkers. We do have, look at the unit count, 7 Stalkers and 2 Zealots, so it's probably more likely we will see Blink overcharge. And you know, Blink's good. Obviously, the mobility of it on such a large map, there are quite a few cliffs that with an observer will be able to jump up as well. And yeah, interesting to see how this pans out. We do have a Spire as well. Everything's happening. Love it. And look at this wall up the top here at the third. That is some decent cannoning.
That is, he doesn't want anyone coming through that door.
And it looks like we have some roaches going across the map. He does, Maynard does have the superior army. I guess it's hard to say given that it is so early in the game, but even if we look at the harvesters count, actually Visions is doing quite well, keeping up with Maynard. He does have a third up now, so maybe we will see even more production, but yeah, I thought maybe by now we would have seen a bit more from Maynard, although I guess he did make those roaches. Could have been.
Yeah, there's not a lot that he needs to do though, because he understands that Visions is just gonna macro up maybe as he's scouted a little bit. There's only 3 gateways, 4 gateways. He hasn't seen that there's now 2 robos up, but you know, he's only got 4 gateways. I've got 3 bases solidly up. You know, I can just macro up a little bit, just chill, get everything going, and then with my creep spread, which he is slowly doing, should I say, he'll be able to see when they come and spawn basically instantly some units to deal with that.
Yeah, having this Zelnaga tower is pretty important. He'll know when there's any kind of pressure coming on, and it seems like Maynard is going for almost the identical build to last game. It was a bit of an earlier third, but we do have Roach opening into Muta play, and he's about to finish tunneling claws, so that could be an important upgrade. Obviously, with force fields, they can tunnel under, they can obviously regen underground, and it looks like it's not even a hard wall. So it gets through into the third. I don't think Visions realized that that wasn't a complete wall. I personally as well wouldn't have thought if we do the turn, can actually see there is enough room to come through. But he wouldn't have known.
And Visions fixes that problem quick, smart.
Yeah, and now we have some mutas coming in. Again, if you look at the Stalkers, they are all at the third, so that was a good attack, obviously drawing the the army out, but we have so many cannons, these mutas are just going to get dominated.
This comes back to what I said at the start of the game, where you need to, like, he needs to get into his mind, okay, Maynarde did this last game, I now need to do this to counter him, and these cannons are a perfect example of that.
Yeah, exactly.
As they've completely stopped that muta push, and his main, not at his third, it should be noted, but he does have his Stalker army reasonably close to that, so he'd be able to deal with it before any damage can really get done.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it is a big investment. They are, 150 minerals each, so, you know, it's definitely not, in terms of if you're going to look at it technically, it wouldn't be the best use of your money, but...
These mutas are going down.
Yeah, that's never good. Son, I think, obviously, Maynard would have seen, obviously, the heavy Stalker, the heavy defense, so more than likely doesn't, like, he's just going to throw these because Mutalisks are basically useless at this point in the game, given that he is going for Blink Stalkers. So we'll obviously opt for Roach heavy, and then I guess, I mean, even Broodlords get pumped by Blink Stalkers, they're pretty mobile, so I think he'll stay on Roaches for some time, get the upgrades going, and see if he can catch him out. But Maynard, with his Soul Mutalist, does see the 4th expansion going down. He does have his 4th of his own. So I will give credit to Maynard. He does have very good scouting ability. He has got basically the entire base, except for the 2 robos, scouted. So kudos there.
Yes.
And looks like we have Infestation Pit about to start. So we could see Infestors. Infestors obviously an important aspect of countering a Blink Stalkers. Obviously, once you fungal them, they cannot blink away during their fungal. So that would obviously mean the Roaches can continue to pump away. But may see an engagement before then. And Maynard knows it's coming. He is max though. If we look at the army size, 138 versus 80. Again, almost double. I guess it's about 80% more, but he is maxed, and the longer Visions waits, the stronger Maynard will get, in the sense that, I mean, he can't build Infestors yet, but once a few die, we'll more than likely see a few Infestors jump out.
Definitely. It is also interesting that he chose to upgrade the armor of his Roaches before the attack of them, so they are 2 armor and 1 attack. And whoa, we have just had 2 additional expansions up by Visions.
And nice surrounding here, goes past the force fields and just basically annihilating this army. Yeah, I was about to say, where's the blink micro? There is no real massive blink micro, and Maynard's just carving through this. He's building 31 more Roaches. We have pathogen glands almost complete. We have 2 almost complete as well. So, I mean, Visions will chew this up, but he did lose quite a bit, and again, I guess that means now we will be able to see some Infestors on the field. We have Hive Tech coming as well. So I guess maybe a bit premature, in the sense that he could have maybe waited for 2 to attack, which just finished.
He could have, but he also did put out a bit of pressure.
Exactly,
onto Visions.
And it's
Just to let him know he's still there.
And of course, you don't want to allow Protoss to get a critical mass of Stalkers. I mean, they are 3 upgrade on the weapons, and we do have level 2 armor on its way, and Thermal Lance, so he's going up for Colossi tech. So interesting, I guess once Maynard sees that, we'll more than likely see some Corruptors pop out on the field, and 3 Infestors. Hopefully they come out in time. It's going to be close. If he can get these Infestors out, get some nice Fungals, it will massively change this game. He does have an Overseer, so he will more than likely jump up here into the second. Or will he go for the fourth? Do we have an Infestor popping here? Needs to be careful with it though. And he will lose Infestor there.
Loses the Infestor.
That is never a good thing. And he will find.
No, it isn't. It is highly likely that Maynard's 4th could go down here if he doesn't do something to deal with this problem.
Yeah, and then they can always just blink up into the natural, or the main I should say, and they could take out some key units. He is throwing everything around this corner, so if Visions...
Oh, 2 free Colossus.
Wow. Sorry, I missed that.
Huge.
But that is never a good thing. It looks like we're about to have a huge engagement. Needs to get a good concave. Nice fungal there. They can't blink away, and that is... I mean, obviously
the and the Zerglings come in.
Yeah, I mean, he is trapped around the corner.
Down,
he is trapped at the moment. He can blink away, but he's going to get sopped up, and we will have the offensive throw in here. And look at that concave. They are not going to see the light of another day.
Ooh.
And
that was just devastating for Visions, down to 119 supply.
Maynard asking the question. Vision's not really willing to.
So
he does have.
BM.
He does have. He does have a 5th up. So he does. If you look at the income, he is actually quite a bit ahead in terms of worker count and income. So Maynard needs to be sure he doesn't premature GG. That offensive GG, but obviously getting those 2 Colossi were huge. I mean, they are level 3 upgrades. We have 4 more Colossi, 4 more Infestors on the way, and they get attacked again. Needs to focus, fire them down. 1, or gets 1, and more than likely will get the 2nd again.
Does get 2.
So, yeah, I mean, some good engagements here from Maynard. I guess the thing that's on Vision's side is he does have the resource advantage. Maynard doesn't actually have that much money. He's basically dry. But he has 23 more lings in production. 3-3 just finishing as I finish speaking now. So they are max, which is always good. And I feel like this is going to be the killing push here. We look at the army size. We have 4 high temper, 4 Archons, 2 Colossi, and 2 Immortals. Obviously these Immortals are important, but you just think given he has 54 Roaches, even that kind of force is going to be hard to beat.
It definitely is. And 3 Infestors popping up here as well.
And it looks like he'll be attacking through this wall again. Maybe not the best idea. He will actually potentially lose quite a bit.
And also, with these units... Oh, no, Visions decided not to. He was thinking about, hey, maybe I could come around and squeeze Maynard in here, but no.
And it looks like he's coming in now. Maybe you're going to make sure that the army is inside. He will be willing to sacrifice this.
Oh, and this is a mistake. These Archons cannot fit out of his own wall.
They're pretty fat. So he is forced, and neither can the Immortals, which is actually a massive... They're like 2 of the most important parts of this force.
Definitely, he needs to wait for that the upgrade.
And he can't kill his Cybercore because he's gone heavy Stalker, and he can't kill his Forge. And it looks like we've got the main engagement here.
There we go.
Some nice fungals on the Colossi. I guess I should focus them. They're the key units. He isn't focusing them down, and actually surprisingly went exceptionally well for Visions.
It did. The issue there was that Maynard decided, hey, I'm going to A, be BM, and then B, I'm going to just wait for... sorry, did I say Visions or Maynard? Either way, Maynard, he's going to be BM, and then he's going to just let Visions, resupply his army. I don't quite understand what he did there.
Yeah, I mean, he did
And
take out 2 expansions, which is important, but and both of them are very low on minerals. So both are pretty similar. I mean, Maynard now has the advantage in terms of econ. He has 4 bases as opposed to the 3. But yeah, he needs to get rid of some of these key units. Obviously, these mortals are important, and I will target them in this engagement. But he's forced to retreat, and it looks like the third is going to go down as well. 10 more roaches in production, so this has actually turned very quickly into Vision's favour.
it has.
And can there be a final stand? We do have a lot of immortals. They do 65 damage versus roaches. And I guess that's a disadvantage of playing mono battles with roaches, is eventually the opponent finds the best response for them. And it looks like these are just going to get absolutely roasted.
Those not only the Immortals, but the Colossus in the background, then they're also being 3/3 upgrade.
Yeah, doing 42
That's
damage
splash
a sweep.
damage.
It's pretty crazy, and you'd expect a GG pretty soon, and you'd have to think that Maynard may have his tail between his legs, especially after doing a bit of BM. There's the lull. He knows he's done it.
There goes the lull.
There we go. He knows it.
And Visions should be very, very happy with that win. He came back from an absolutely terrible spot and managed to roll through Maynard.
Yeah.
You should be very happy with that win.
I think especially, I guess, to look at, like, kind of analysing that. I mean, he stayed on Tier 2 the entire game. I mean, he did upgrade to Hive Tech, but he didn't get, Broodlords or anything. I mean, sure, there was a massive Stalker army, but I felt when he killed all those Stalkers, that was maybe a good opportunity to switch up into Broodlords, because obviously Colossi can't hit him, the Mortals can't hit him.
Definitely.
But again, I don't really know that kind of level of play.
As a Zerg player, you pretty much, against Protoss, what you want to do is go Roachling, as he did, to, see what you can do, and then if you're, depending on what sort of army your enemy has, you almost always want, probably 80% of the time, you tech up to an Infested Broodlord army. Whereas, say, instead of the only real other possibility, which is the Ultralisks, but even then, you don't want to do that because of the Immortals, which just stomp through them.
Yeah, exactly. Can you repeat maps? It's a good question. I don't think there's any rules against it.
I think it has to be a separate map from the pool, but that's just logic speaking to me. I don't really know.
Hello, right?
But yeah, that was an insane game.
Yeah, it was so back and forth. It's crazy.
Just watching Visions just sit and chill for a while, just forge fast, expand, get my economy up, just take a third, and then to just come along and lose 2 free Colossus. That is huge. And then to lose your entire Stalker army after that for not really a lot of gain at all. In fact, I'm pretty sure there was no gain apart from killing significantly less roaches. And then to be able to come back from that, take 2 more bases, so he was on 5, and then to come back, create an army, destroy Maynard with his Archons, his Colossus, his Immortals, which do an insane amount of damage to roaches, which is the only real unit that Maynard had in the end. It's an amazing thing to watch.
And it looks like I did get confirmation we can repeat maps. Obviously in a best of 3, it's probably not going to come up too often, but Maynard obviously looking like he wants to gear up for Daybreak again.
Interesting choice.
Well, he did win with the first one. Maybe just going for a map that he has had success with.
Maybe a bit of a mind game here, saying, putting it into Vision's mind, hey, I beat you on this map. Let's go again. Or it could also be because of, as you mentioned when we were watching that game, it does have a very wide ramp which blocks off, sort of blocks off at least the opportunity for a forge fast expand, which is one of the most common strategies against a Protoss, against a Zerg player as a Protoss.
And we have been invited to the game, so we'll be starting game number 3 pretty shortly. This will be the deciding match of this set. It is a Swiss style system, so it's not like a knockout or anything like that. Each are currently on 1 point, but the winner of this will actually get 2 points. 1 for the win of the game and 1 for the win of the set. So it obviously every point counts, so both players obviously will be trying to duke it out to get that extra points.
Definitely. This SASL tournament is becoming a little bit prestigious. This is the 3rd one, I believe, that we've held. And considering the first one had maybe, if I remember correctly, maybe about 15, 20 players. Second one had about, I think it was up to about 30. This time we've had to limit it to 50 players so that we're able to manage it. That's just...
Yeah, I do have, I guess something on SASL on our Facebook page. I have made a little, database. Our first actual tournament, our introduction season, was on March the 28th, 2011. So actually today marks the first year anniversary of our... I didn't actually realize till just then, our first anniversary of the first game that we had. But yeah, like you were saying, in terms of our official tournaments, we had 20 players in Season 1, which was in August 2011. And then we went up to 28 players in January this year, and obviously limiting ourselves to 50 in March. So, huge jump. We are obviously so excited.
Definitely.
And I mean, I personally cannot wait for when we get to the business end of this season, obviously getting the finals and all that fun stuff. And yeah, we're about to get things sorted.
Man, just think one day SASL could become like GSL.
We might have to, I think there maybe have to be a name change before then. We'd have the South Australian GSL, there. South Australian Global StarCraft League.
Oh, they wouldn't like that.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves, let's just do this one first. Looks like we are starting the game as we get the beautiful game countdown sound. That's something that we love to hear. As I turn the music down and we get ready for the 3rd and final game of this set.
I love that countdown sound. It either brings impending doom or amazing joy. Usually the doom, I might add.
It depends, obviously, if you're the favorite or not. But we will get straight into it. Those of you, obviously this is a repeat map. We do have GSL Daybreak being played again, picked by our yellow Zerg down in the bottom left-hand corner. Obviously realizing that sometimes it's important not to BM too early. We have our Manly Maynarde, and spawning in our top right-hand corner, cross positions on party.org. Special shout out to them. We have our Pink Protoss taking game number 2 with a nice comeback, and out to take game number 3 as well. Obviously we have tbhVisions. And are you there? Did we drop Skype? We may have dropped Skype. I'm not sure. I will. Oh, you're back?
We haven't. I was just having a little bit of a coughing fit. I apologise.
Oh, no worries. You had me worried for a second there. I thought I'd...
I was gonna leave. I wouldn't leave you all on your own here, Baldy.
And we do have a pylon going down. Again, same as the first game. So it looks like we'll be having a forge, a fast expand. Generally, that's what happens with a pylon down there. I have seen games where he's put a pylon down here and then built a proxy gateway. Interesting, but most of the time you'd feel pretty confident that we do have fast forge expand going down.
You would. Although, yep, and there we go. On this map, he will have to wall off quite a bit with structures to make this wall shall we say, viable, because, as I said, that is a very wide wall, and you need to at least have, I'd say, 5, maybe you could get away with 4 buildings to actually fully block that wall off, and then to also have it all covered with cannons so as they cover the range of the wall. That's something else you have to worry about. But this one cannon here, which he has just laid, does block off the ramp to the... Well, does. When I say block off, it limits the access to the ramp of that Zerglings would have into his main base
Yeah,
if there was some early aggression.
exactly. And I mean, we did see in an earlier game, I think it was, I can't remember who exactly was Blitz first, somebody else, but nonetheless, we did have a Forge Fast Expand, and we did have a 6-pull. Actually, it was same position, Zergs did 6-pull, and actually did force a 1 base from the Protoss. But I guess, like I've said before, what I found out through that, obviously, if you're going for a Forge Fast Expand, it does mean that you're not building a gateway for a lot longer. You are pumping out probes quicker, and you can obviously deal with a 6-pull actually probably a lot easier than you can if you go for that gateway. So it's a pretty
Definitely.
safe build. You kind of have to do some pretty crazy stuff to be able to knock it down.
Definitely. I once tried to, as a Zerg, do a 1 base 3 roach Zergling rush all into a Forge Fast Expand. Did not end well in any way, shape or form.
And we do have speed almost complete. And the Nexus is almost complete as well. So obviously the Visions will be starting and finishing his gateway soon. You won't have many units up on the field for quite some time. But again, it doesn't seem like Maynard's in any hurry to do any kind of 1 base or anything. Obviously he's on 2 base now, and it seems like both parties will macro up obviously once these Lings do their scouting.
Definitely. You always want to know what's going on inside of a Protoss space. They could be going... They have such a wide variety of good units and therefore good unit compositions that they can go. And particularly as a Zerg, you need to know how to counter that, because a lot of Zerg play is simply reactionary. That is, you see what your opponent is doing and you build units to counter those units. Whereas other races such as Terran and Protoss, aka the only other races, they usually go for a set standard sort of build, such as, hey, I'm going to go Stalkers and Colossus, or I'm going to go Marine, Marauder, Medivacs, like something like that.
Exactly. And I guess notable, seems like Maynard has gone for the same build 3 games in a row. He's got that early third, he's got that Roach Warren up pretty early. We'll more than likely see those Roaches pop out, maybe 2 to 3 defensively. Crank out that, oh, he's going Lair now, so we'll crank out that Lair, get the Roach speed upgrade, and maybe even see Mutas again. I mean, he did see that there's a Forge Fast Expand, so we know cannons are accessible at any point in time. So interesting to see where he goes, but definitely the same opening from Maynard in all 3 games. There's nothing wrong with it. It is a pretty strong, reliable build. If you see a Forge Fast Expand, you obviously know no pressure's going to be put on you early, so you probably can get away with that third pretty early, as long as you don't play too greedy.
Definitely. And you also have to be ready just in case to defend against that, against the possibility of it being a sort of, you know, I'm going to Forge Fast Expand, but at the same time I might not like probe it up. I might just put it there and do some aggression against you.
Yeah.
Which is why he's got these Zerglings around here, just scouting around, seeing what's going on, killing a Stalker. You know, just an average day in the life of the Zergling.
So Visions doesn't know the third is up. He does know the second is up, but he doesn't know the Roach one is up either. So Visions hasn't really been able to do much scouting. While on the opposite side, Maynard actually does he get in the base?
Oh,
I think
he doesn't.
Let me check its vision. He didn't actually see the Robo, which would have been nice to know. We do have an observer, so Visions will start his scouting pretty shortly. But still, good to get in the base. He would have seen that there was no cannons at the back, so that might lead him to actually going into meter tech, perhaps. But again, we'll have to see. Any scouting's better than none, as obviously pretty obvious.
Definitely. Yeah, it will be interesting to see what sort of tech he goes for. He
There
is
it
getting
is.
double Evo chambers currently.
And getting that Spire, as
And
we
a
just
Spire has
discussed.
popped up as well.
So,
And there is 4 gas and a 5th gas going down. A few spine crawlers just in case.
and the third going down now for Visions. Oh, it was going to go down at that third location. He decided not to. I wonder if he's going to do it. I don't know why he has chosen not to expand there. He is pulling 1200. Maybe he's opting to expand at the right-hand corner. It seems like Anthony is having another coughing fit. And Visions now comes in for a scout, so we'll see, obviously, quite a defensive front opening.
Yes,
You're
sorry.
back? Yeah, you're dead.
Interesting placement. He's just got a... Visions just has a little probe sitting here. It's only a... was it 6 mineral field, 1 gas base.
Yeah, it's interesting. I haven't actually noticed that. But he is pulling on 1200. I really don't know what he's doing. He is getting Blink and Colossi Tech. He is only on 1 Robo. Like if he had 2 Robos or something, maybe if he was kind of pulling up for double Colossi production. But I'm really surprised that he hasn't expanded yet. He did actually start the how you can advance build like we
Here we
just
go.
saw.
Okay. Down pops the third.
Again, it's
Finally decided to do it. He finally decided he could afford it at 1300 minerals.
and we may actually see it being scouted straight away by Maynarde with those map hacks.
Those map hats being a well-placed overlord. Just seeing that there's a probe.
And he will
just
see
chilling out down there.
the war prison as well, obviously, if he was paying attention. So he will know that potentially the back of his main is vulnerable. But we have 11 meters on the way. If we look at the base of Visions, he has only cannons at the front, no cannons in the main. Actually, he has no defense for that. He does have
very, very little muted defense.
6 stalkers and 3 sentries. The only thing he is building. Oh, I thought they were cannons initially. I thought he might have just been able to. Oh, and this will actually get taken out. These map hacks are great.
Oh.
Nah, he's playing stand. He's playing stand, obviously. But just, I mean, there's a bit of fortune in when you kind of go. But again, it's not like he's playing, blind. He has some nice overlord placement. He definitely just saw the Colossi, which is good news.
Now he has. And these muters are gonna do exactly what happened in the first game on this same base, in this same spot, and
Except they were
cause
mirrored.
absolute mayhem.
Especially because all of the army is at the third. There's actually nothing home. He will be able to warp in some stuff. Nice reaction time. And probably won't lose that many, but he might be able to again take out the Robo Bay.
Take out the robotics
before it finishes. Thermal Lancers, the forces are coming back in, but he will have a field day. Maybe even get another pylon. Gets another one and will shoot straight back out of there with no damages really. Nice
exactly
blink.
The same thing that happened in the first game between these two.
Exactly.
That was very, very, very well played.
Visions also did reveal the blink. We have Infestation Pit as well. 8 more muters in production. That'll jump it up to 22. That's always a fierce number. We do have 3 cannons coming up, so obviously in the natural we have the cannons.
Yes.
So we may be seeing a transfer.
And some aggression, gonna head out towards the third again.
Yeah, I really like this from Maynarde. He is keeping Visions on 2 base. And it's just going to starve him out. He does cancel it though, so nice saving of the 300 minerals. He'll just scoot back out of there before they can really attack. And
these muters are coming back in the backside of his base.
And we could have another
no
engagement. Can he get the Colossi? That'll be huge. He gets both of the Colossi surrounded, and will take both of them down. Oh, yeah, both of them down. Again, huge damages to Visions. I just feel like sometimes his unit control is what really puts him behind. Having his army out at his third, it's obviously important to secure it, but to have everything there, and But again, Maynard playing exceptionally well. He just has to make sure he doesn't have an offensive GG and lose.
He does, and he doesn't quite have the perfect army to deal with this. Like, there are Lings and Mutas, but Stalkers
Yeah, he
and
did get Baneling Nest, which is interesting. I
Zealots.
assume maybe he might get transport soon. He does have Overlord speed, I believe. He does have Overlord speed, so maybe gearing up for some Baneling landmines, not landmines, but the Baneling bombs, perhaps.
Yes. It is interesting to note that Maynard is sitting on only 45 drones.
Yeah, wow,
That
I
is,
just saw that.
particularly for a Zerg, that is an insanely low amount of drones.
And he's taking his fourth, but again, he's had that economy up for so long. I guess that's one of the key parts that we can look from Maynard's game is in the first one as well. As these mutas go in, the Stalkers actually won't be able to get back in the base for some time. And with this amount of mutas, he's not really concerned about obviously these cannons because he just has so much DPS on them. And the Stalkers actually won't be able to get there in time. We'll have quite a bit of damage on these Probes. And this is probably actually going to get going to get Marinade that kind of time he needs, given that he doesn't have that many workers. He needs to be careful not to trap these mutas. He will go to the second, but there will be a lot more cannons here as well. So he might just chill out between the bases. And he looks like he's trapped, so he needs to stay there. And, you know, it's not a bad thing that he stays up in the corner because it means that both of the Protoss army has to stay in his base.
It does indeed. And at this point he can just say, hey, I'm going to go take a fourth, even though I've still only got 45 workers. I can afford to take a fourth.
Yeah, and they are actually identical in army supply.
They are.
And worker supply almost identical
Vision
as well.
says, hey, I'll also take a fourth. If you're going to, even though I don't know you're going to, I'm going to.
It's actually his third, which is pretty crazy. He's actually expanding to his third. Now, I guess that's the big thing. If you look at the difference in gas, Maynard has 3k gas banked in, whereas Visions is in a lot of trouble in terms of his gas production. Obviously, Protoss units cost a lot of gas, and because he's been on 2 base for so long, he actually, if you look here, there's not actually that much gas left in these tanks. So yeah, I just feel, and these mutas are just going to get stomped. He does take quite a few losses out of it. Still saves 14 of them. But again, I'd like to see some tier 3 from Maynard. I mean, maybe not right now because it is, like, you look at the units, 33 Blink Stalkers just decimate, you know, Broodlords. That's what I'm trying to get out.
Definitely. He has been upgrading his melee attacks, which at this point, particularly against a very, very heavy Stalker army, I would like to see Ultralisks come along.
Yeah, he's getting 6 more meters.
They rip through Stalkers, and there's only, what, 1, 2 Immortals? I can't quite see through the Colossus. Let's check the units. Just 1 Immortal, so there wouldn't be much that could occur if he decided to tech into Ultras.
Yeah, I mean, these Infestors, we've got 6 Infestors popping, which are going to be pretty big. And again, these mutas are going to be locked down. But we'll be able to jump back into the main. Actually might be able to take out some key structures here. We'll actually probably go for the supply block, perhaps. I'm not sure. We'll take out 1. We do have the gas being taken out too. Visions is splitting his army. Nicely done there, trying to obviously lock in the mutas. And it's probably not going to work though. He might get a few free hits in. And thankfully the muta on 32 health isn't at the front. But again, he is almost maxed. Looks like it's going to come down to 1 large engagement. And these mutas aren't being able to do what they want. And he has a lot of units just sitting around. The longer he waits, the quicker Visions will obviously max up. He is up to 33 Stalkers now. So he needs to be careful. If he can get some nice fungals, if he can kill these at Colossi and get some nice fungals in, yeah, bad engagement there. Does not want to engage up the ramp.
He doesn't indeed.
we can get rid of these, and there might be a blink in. No, there is no blink in. So I really feel it's going to come down to these fungals and getting rid of the
What are your
Colossi.
thoughts on the Banelings in this fight?
The Banelings haven't actually been able to come in very well. They are streaming ahead now and doing quite a bit of damage. But again, I don't think, especially when they're rolling in and you have Colossi at the back. I mean, if he got like a Baneling drops, maybe. But again, that's obviously a risk that you take. You know, Overlords, 100 minerals each, all that kind of stuff. And again, I just feel like this Stalker army is just going to rip through everything that Maynard gives. It's just staying on tier 2. I don't really know what you can do to counter.
I was going to say, sticking on layer tech against a heavy Protoss army, that's never really a good idea, particularly at the 24.5 minute mark, to not even have a hive up. I mean,
yeah,
you just question.
I mean, I like his play in terms of the
here.
Infestor Ling, in terms of if you can get some nice fungals and then surround, but these Colossi are just melting everything.
They are.
And look, I mean, if we look at the count, 59 kills on the 60, and like, that just speaks for itself. They've killed like 100 units between them. And it's looking pretty grim for Maynard. He doesn't have any resources in terms of minerals. And 46 Lings, his last stand, and there's the GG.
There's the GG.
Well played for Visions, taking out 2-1. Obviously Maynard taking the first game out, and then Visions taking a solid 2 sets. But yeah, I feel like Maynard may have not necessarily thrown, but at least given Visions a healthy hand in both of those.
He did indeed. It would have. It's disappointing to see someone play so well in an early game situation and then just be like, so it's the 20-minute mark. What do I do now? I mean, you just have to think, okay, I need to tech up to something. What's it going to be? And in that case, as he had the upgrades for it, he should have gone into some Ultralisks.
Yeah.
As he had the time, he had the resources at one point, instead of sticking with a Ling Infestor army against Stalkers which block, and then you've got your Colossus in the back that absolutely dominate them. So I just think it was possibly well, it was a poor choice in unit composition in this one from Maynard.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess I can jump into our SASL chat. They are kind of reviewing what happens, and yeah, I guess Forby are accurately saying need tier 3 units versus the Death Ball.
Yeah. And Maynard saying he got tired. So it is interesting how, as it is almost 1 o'clock here in South Australia, where at least the majority of these players are, the effect that fatigue can have on your game. That just shows that game there. It's just a perfect example of it. You see it in the GSL through jet lag. You see it in the MLG also through jet lag as they fly from Korea to US and everywhere else. And you still also see it in the South Australian StarCraft League, just
when
due
they
to a
jet
late
lag
night.
away, yeah.
Just a late night.
Well, yeah, I think that's. I mean, if we do have another game, like I said, we will actually stop the stream and start it again. But I can't imagine at almost 1 AM we will have another game. But
No.
I think there were 3 very entertaining games. It was obviously, I felt it was a pleasure to be able to cast them. And thanks for co-casting. It's so much easier having another person on board.
Problem.
Yeah.
Thank you for putting up with my very croaky, head cold voice throughout the night. Apologise for the quiet moments where I was coughing up my guts, but
That's okay. You turned the mic off, so I knew after the first time that it was all good. Just take care of yourself. But again, yeah, like obviously there'll be plenty more to come. This is only round 1. We have round 7. Still, I think we're only about halfway through the games of this round. So
there are lots more. I
still
will be
plenty
playing
of games.
I'll be playing my game hopefully tomorrow night, and that should be interesting because I am going up against a Masters League and I'm still a Lobby Silver because I really can't be bothered playing much more. But
well,
hey, it's all fun and games.
As long as you have some fun, maybe we'll play each other in a few weeks. I lost 2-0 to Flamga.
You lost 2-0 to Flamga.
Yes.
That's gotta hurt.
That's alright, I'm any gold. But again, yeah. So thanks for tuning in. Again, another shout out to our 3 sponsors: Juice Studios, Channel 4 News Team, and Terra Australis, as shown on the stream right now. Go check them out. Peace and love to everybody, and we'll catch you next time.
See you later.